So good morning everyone. Today I am starting a new chapter called as comparing quantities using proportions. So this chapter is about ratios. So already you have learnt about ratio in 7th class. So what you have learnt in 7th class, you have learnt about ratio and also you have learnt about proportion and how to find the percentages also you have to find. You have learned. So now extension of this we are learning now. So first we will revise these three. So what is ratio? Ratio is nothing but comparing two equal quantities. We will call it as ratio. What is that? Comparing two equal quantities is called ratio. So what do you mean by ratio? Comparing two equal quantities, we will call it as ratio. So nothing but if you are comparing any two persons about height. So for one person you are comparing with height, other person also you will compare with height itself. Both you will find height only. You will not take in one person's height in other person weight, you will not compare. So if you are comparing any two persons, height with height only you will compare, weight with weight only you will compare. So what do you mean by ratio? Ratio means comparing two equal quantities, we will call it as ratio. So this is called as ratio. Next is proportion. So what do you mean by proportion? If you are taking any two ratios, if the two ratios are equal, then we will call that two ratios are in proportion. Suppose I am taking 1 cup of tea. I want to make 1 cup of tea. For making 1 cup of tea, I want 2 tablespoons of tea powder. For making 1 cup of tea, I want how many tablespoons of tea powder? 2 tablespoons of tea powder. So this becomes a ratio here. Okay, what do you mean by proportion? We will see. So this is only for 1 cup. So if I want to make 2 cups of tea, how many tablespoons of tea powder I want? Usually it will be double. That means 4 tablespoons of tea powder I want. Okay, so we are comparing these two ratios. When these two ratios are equal, then we will say these two ratios are in the form of proportion. Okay, so what we call, when these two ratios are equal, then we will call this 1:2 and 2:4 are in proportion. Whether they are equal or not, we will see. So 1 and 2 will not have, it will not cancel in any table, and 2 and 4 will cancel in two tables. That is 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So you got here 1:2. Here also you got it as 1:2. So you can tell that 1:2 and 1:2 are equal. So you can tell 1:2 and 2:4 are in the form of proportion. So what do you mean by proportion? Proportion is nothing but when two ratios are equal, then the given whole ratio we will call it as, we can say that they are in proportion. Okay, now next is ratio, percentage. How to find the percentage? Percent is nothing but 100. Percent is nothing but 100. So percent means, suppose I want to find what is 20%. How you will denote this 20%? 20% is nothing but 20 by 100. Okay, suppose I am taking one chocolate bar here. So in chocolate bar, total 100 pieces are there. So this will be 5 5 25 means total how many pieces are there in this? 100 pieces we are having. So I want from this I am taking this part. I want to eat this part. So how many pieces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means total 25 pieces are there in this bar. Okay, so total you are having 100, but in that I want to take only 25 pieces. That means from 100% of chocolate I am only eating how much percent of chocolate? 25% of chocolate. Okay, so if I want full like this, how many are there in this bar? This is having 50. Total is 100. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means if the total is here 50%. That means from 100 bars I want to eat only how many pieces here? 50 pieces. That means from total 100 pieces I am eating 50 pieces of chocolate. That means that will be 50%. Okay, so percent is nothing but by 100. So we can write that as by 100 into 100. Okay, so this is called as percentage. Now in this 8th class we are learning about compound ratio. So what do you mean by compound ratio? We will see. Compound ratio means converting two different ratios. Converting two ratios into single ratio, we will call it as compound ratio. Suppose here I am taking one ratio 2:3 is as 4:3. You are having how many ratios? Two ratios you are having. So if you want to convert these two ratios into single ratio, that process we will call it as compound ratio. That we will call it as compound ratio. So what do you mean by compound ratio? Any two ratios converting into single ratio, we will call it as compound ratio. So how to convert this compound ratio? How to convert these two ratios into single ratio, we will find. So here in this first and third term and second and last term, we will multiply. So what we will do? First term and third term we will multiply, and second term and last term we will multiply. So in this first and last term we will call it as, first and third term we will call it as, I am writing in simple general form, A is to B is as C is to D. That means A and C, B and D. So A and C are called as product of antecedents. So A and C we will call it as antecedent, product of antecedents, and second and last term we will call it as product of consequence. Okay, so what is this? A and C are called as antecedents and B and D are called as consequence. How to convert this double ratio into single ratio? Just we have to multiply the antecedents and also we have to multiply the consequence. That means we can write A into C is to B into D. So what is this? Product of antecedents is equals to product of consequence. Now I want to convert this ratio, two ratios into single ratio. So how to convert now? 2 into 4, that is product of antecedents is to product of consequence, that is 3 into 3. So 2 4s is 8 is to 3 3s is 9. So what is the compound ratio of 2:3 and 4:3? That is 8:9. So this is how you will convert the double ratio into compound ratio. So what do you mean by compound ratio? Compound ratio is nothing but converting the double ratio into single ratio, we will call it as compound ratio. So in this first and third term we will call it as antecedents and second and fourth term we will call it as consequence. So multiplying the antecedents and multiplying the consequence, we will get compound ratio, that is 2 into 4 and 3 into 3. 2 4s is 8, 3 3s is 9. So 8:9 is a compound ratio for this. 2:3 is as 4:3. Okay, so this is how you will find the compound ratio. So one more term we will take here. So I want to find what is the compound ratio of this 4:2 is as 8:2. So how to find the compound ratio? We have to multiply product of antecedents and product of consequence. So what is product of antecedents? That is 4 into 8 is as 2 into 2. That is 2 into 2 is a product of consequence. So 4 8s is 32 is 2 2 2s is 4. So what is the ratio, compound ratio here? Compound ratio is 32:4. So in this way we will find the compound ratio. Next is how to find the increase percentage or decrease percentage we will find. So what we are learning now, finding how to find finding the increase and decrease percentage. So how to find the increase percentage and decrease percentage we will see. Suppose I am telling that I want to I have sold a fridge for 30,000. So what is this? Sold. That means I have sold. So sold is 30,000. So after selling, I got the profit of 5%. So I sold a fridge for 30,000 and I got the profit of or you take it as here cost price. So what is the cost? I bought the fridge for 30,000. After selling that I got the profit of 5%. So after selling, how much profit I got? 5% of profit I got. So what is that profit value and how to find that profit value we will see. So already I told you that 5% is nothing but divided by 100. So we have to multiply this with 5% now. So what is the 5% of 30,000 we have to find. Okay. So what is the 5% here? 5% of 30,000. 5% of 30,000. 5% is nothing but 5 by 100. Off is nothing but multiplication and 30,000 I am writing as it is. Okay. So in this 30,000, what is the 5% value I have to find. So if I cancel 0, 0, 0, 0. So what is the remaining number you got? 5 into 300. So multiply this. 5 zeros are 0. 5 zeros are 0. 5 threes are is 15. So 5% of 30,000 is how much? 1500. That means I bought for 30,000. After selling that I got extra. How much extra amount I got? 1500 extra amount I got. That means what will be the selling price here? Cost price is 30,000 what I bought from where I bought, and the same fridge I have sold for 5% profit. So what is the 5% profit there? That will be 1500. So we have to add 1500 here. Okay, so that will be how much now? 30,000 plus 1500 extra I got. That is profit value. So if you add, that will be 31,500. So I bought the fridge for 30,000. After selling, I got the profit of 5%. So what will be the selling price here? I sold for 31,500. I bought for 30,000. I sold for 31,000. So I got the profit of 5% here. Okay. So in the same way, one more example we will take. So a sales manager asked his team to increase the sales by 35% over previous month sales, which was 98,700. Okay, what is the target sale? So what is the sale percentage? What is the sale price there? That is 98,700. That is previous year. Now he is telling to increase by 35%. That means what is the 35% of 98,700 we have to find. And also for next month how much profit they will get also we have to find. So what is the sale there? Sale is 98,700 and he is telling to increase the percentage by 35 for next year. So here profit percentage he want it as 35%. For this more 35% profit he want for next year it seems. So what is the 35% of this value we have to find now. So how to find the 35% of 98,700? Same, 35% of 98,700. So 35% is nothing but 35 by 100. Of is nothing but multiplication 98,700. Okay, here 0 0, here 0 0 will get cancelled. Now you multiply these two. 7 5s are 35, 5 8s are 40, 40 plus 3 is 43, 5 9s are 45, 45 plus 4 is 49. Now 3 7s are 21, 3 8s are 24, 24 plus 2 will be 26, 3 9s are 27, 27 plus 2 is 29. So 5, 4, 9 plus 6 is 15. So you got it as 14. This is 34,545. So what is the 35% of this value? That is 34,545. So next year with this still he want more money. How much money he want more? That is 35,545. So what will be the next month sale? Next year sale will be, next year target will be, add these two, that will be 98,700 plus 34,545. So if you add this, how much you will get? We will see here. Five, 4, 12, 13, 30. So how much you got? 1,33,245. So next year he want the target. They have to reach the target for 1,33,245. This year it was 98,700. Next year they want to reach the target by 1,33,245. That is how much percentage more? That will be 35% more. Okay. So this is how to find the increase percentage. In the same way we will find the decrease percentage also. So suppose for decrease percentage I am taking one more example. So I bought a pen for 100 rupees. Okay, I bought a pen for 100 rupees. After selling, I got the loss percentage of 5. Okay, I bought one pen that is for 100 rupees. After selling that, I got 5% loss. Okay, so what I have to find? Selling price. For how much price I have sold, I have to find. So how to find that? So what is the 5% of 100 rupees I have to find first? So what I have to find? 5% of 100. That is 5% can be written as 5 by 100. Off is nothing but multiplication and this is 100. So 0, 0, 0, 0 will get cancelled. That is 5 rupees. So what is the loss value? I got 5 rupees loss after selling a pen. Okay, so loss means is nothing but decreased. The value has been decreased. Decrease is nothing but subtraction. That means 100 minus this 5 you have to do. That means that will be 95 rupees. So this is how you will find the decrease percentage. Decrease percentage is nothing but reducing. So CP, I bought a pen for 100 rupees. I sold for 95 rupees. So how much loss I got? I got the loss of 5% here. So this is how we will find the increase and decrease percentage values. Okay, so with this our class is completed. Tomorrow we will start our new exercise on this topic. So thank you.